The future of work is automated. Welcome to Aivora.
In 2012, a single blog post with a cheeky title sent a shock through the world of game graphics. It wasn't about a new console. It wasn't a breakthrough GPU. It was about something you've seen in every game, corners. The post read, "Corners don't look like that." And once you saw it, you couldn't unsee it. But here's the thing. That post wasn't calling out a bug. It was calling out the single most popular lighting trick in modern games. A trick that made everything look off. Soft edges on characters got a dark outline. Walls next to floors had weird shadows. It whispered, "Corners don't look like that." Which means the gorgeous shadows you've been admiring. They were lying. A massive shortcut was running behind every frame, faking something that didn't work the way your eyes expected. So the question became, what exactly was the lie, and why did corners look so wrong? Let me show you the real thing first. In the physical world, light bounces. In tight corners, like where a wall meets the floor, less light can sneak in. The bounce light gets blocked. So the crevice appears darker, but it's soft, gradual. Photographers have known this for a century. That's true ambient occlusion. Then came 2007. Crisis. To make jungles and interiors feel real, a programmer named Vladimir Kajalin invented a technique that didn't need to trace actual light. It only used what the camera already saw, the depth buffer. A 2D map of distances. From that, he could guess where light might be blocked. Screenspace ambient occlusion was born. Here's how the cheat works. For every pixel on your screen, the GPU grabs a hemisphere of sample points around it in screen space. It checks each sample's depth. If a neighboring point is closer to the camera, that suggests a surface blocking light. The more occluded samples, the darker the pixel. Instant shadowed corners, with almost no performance cost. But the secret nobody told you? This method doesn't understand geometry. It only sees distances. Any edge in the depth buffer, a soldier's shoulder against the sky, a pipe against a wall, looks like a corner to SSAO. So it dumps a dark halo everywhere. That's why you got that ugly outline on characters even when they stood in open light. In 2012, NVIDIA's Greenberg put a name to this embarrassment. His blog "Corners Don't Look Like That" held up a real photo next to an SSAO rendered image. The SSAO had harsh, equal darkness edges. Real corners had nuanced falloff. The post declared, "Our most popular ambient occlusion technique was fundamentally wrong." And he had a fix. Greenberg's alternative was horizon-based ambient occlusion, or HBAO. Instead of blind sampling, it traced rays in screen space along horizon lines to find the highest occluder angle. It calculated how much of the sky was visible from that surface point. This discriminated between actual crevices and innocent edges. Corners finally started looking like corners. Developers took notice. Battlefield, Bad Company 2 was among the first to adopt HBAO, replacing the murky halos with cleaner, more physically plausible occlusion. Players toggled between SSAO and HBAO in settings menus, and suddenly the old look felt like a cheap Instagram filter. The secret was out, and the industry wanted better. 2 years later, NVIDIA refined it further. HBAO Plus arrived in 2014, using a compute shader to gather more sample directions with almost no performance hit. It gave scenes that coveted contact shadow look without the edge sickness. Suddenly, open worlds could have soft dark feet under trees and sharp occlusion in door crevices, all at once. Now, if this is exposing just how much trickery happens in every single frame you've ever seen, drop a like right now. It sounds small, but hitting that button tells YouTube to show this hidden graphics knowledge to more people. Let's keep pulling back the curtain. But the real revolution came 2 years after that. In 2016, Activision published Ground Truth Ambient Occlusion, or GTAO. It calculated occluded light using a physically based formula derived from the hemisphere integral, no view-dependent bias. The result was so accurate it approached offline ray tracing, yet ran in real time. The lie was dying. Today, the best engines combine spatial techniques like GTAO with temporal accumulation. They reuse samples from previous frames, eliminating noise and making occlusion silky smooth. The dark halo is a distant memory. The secret that Greenberg exposed in 2012 set off an arms race that gave us lighting that feels almost physically true. And then ray tracing entered the chat. With hardware-accelerated ray tracing, ambient occlusion no longer needs to guess from screen space. Rays actually bounce, hitting geometry in world space. Corners finally look exactly as they should, without a shred of screen space artifact. The decade-long quest started by that blog post is complete. Want to see the difference? Look at a character's elbow against a bright sky. SSAO gives you a grimy halo, as if the arm is outlined in pencil. Ray-traced AO gives you nothing there, because light reaches that edge easily. Yet in the armpit crevice, you get the soft dark nest you'd expect. That's the truth that 2012 article demanded. But the legacy lives on. Fans still mod older games to rip out SSAO and inject HBAO or even basic ray-traced occlusion. Games like Dark Souls originally shipped with aggressive halos that modders scrubbed away. The corners don't look like that post became a rallying cry for anyone who demanded that their games not lie to them. If you're fascinated by the hidden mathematics that paint every pixel, hit subscribe right now. I break down the secrets of game rendering every week, from ambient occlusion to virtual texture streaming, so you can see what's truly happening behind the screen. The render pipeline is full of tricks like SSAO that shaped how you experience games. Every week, we pull apart another one. Tap that bell, because the next one is already set to blow your eyes wide open. And next up, we're going after an even bigger lie. The real reason mirrors in games are broken. We'll look at screen space reflections, their terrible failure when you look down, and how ray tracing finally gave us true mirrors. Subscribe so you don't miss that reveal. It's insane.